What is going on, guys? This is Mia. Since we just got a bunch of new news, I guess, announced, right? So, new cards as well as a new structure deck. But yeah, we're finally getting a blue-eye structure deck. It's looking to be absolutely insane. And of course, I'll be reviewing it, right? And I don't know if there's any speculation that we can make, but it's about time that we finally get like a Blue Eyes Link monster, an Xyz or something. We already have a Synchro monster because we've got like 2 tuners. Actually, no, we've got like 7 billion tuners in Blue Eyes. It's just that only 2 of them are really seeing play. Well, I mean, Sage, you know, the bad egg and then the good egg, I don't know, it's just, whatever, right? The deck just changed so much over the years. I don't know if it's going to keep, like, playing the same way it used to, like, back in 2016 or 2015, rather, with, like, cards of consonants and everything, or if it's gonna be, like, a combo version. But anyways, before we go any further, right, into reviewing any of these new cards or news, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep not dying. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first is going to be getting released on September 7th for the OCG, so TCG is probably going to have it by January, something like that. It's always like 3-4 months later, I think, hopefully. And 8 new cards, but that's definitely good news, right? 8 is a juicy number. Structure X is always like around like 7, 8, 9, some, I don't know if there's like 10 sometimes. But yeah, no, hopefully this is going to be like really like huge for Blue Eyes, because again, this deck already won Worlds in 2016, so if it could happen again, you know, I'd really appreciate it. And we're also getting like a rarity enhancement pack in the OCG that's never going to be you know, getting like, it's never gonna translate to the TCG as well, so nobody cares about that. But yeah, no, it's really cool. So yeah, Blue Eyes players rejoice. Okay, so the first set of new cards announced in Animation Chronicle, right? So I don't know when we're gonna be getting those cards, but who cares? Crystal, or sorry, rather Clear World cards. First one is a Clear Phantom level 3 Dark Fiend. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can discard 1 card and 1 other card, okay? Add 2 cards from your deck to your hand that are either Clear World and or spell trap cards that mentions it. Yeah, you are unaffected by the effects of Clear World. That's a continuous effect on the field. If this card is destroyed, you can target 1 monster upon controls. Destroy it, and if you do, send the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to the grave. Okay, so it's a really bad card, even though it searches 2 cards, because Clear World is a bad card. If this card is normal special summon, you can activate this effect. Your monsters that mention Clear World can attack directly this turn. You are unaffected by the effects of Clear World. Again, by the way, Clear World is a really old and garbage card. So anything that involves Clear World is already, like, 100% destined for failure. When this inflict battles damage to your opponent, you can inflict 300 damage to them for each card in their hand. We could have had these cards in like 2005, and nobody would have really cared. Clear Cube level 1 Dark Machine, again unaffected by Clear World. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 monster that mentions Clear World in addition to your normal summoner set. And if this face-up card and its owner's control leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon 1 monster from your deck that mentions Clear World. Very bad again. Clear Vicious Knight. You can tribute this card by attributing 1 monster that mentions Clear World. Okay, it doesn't even special summon itself. That's bad. Gains attack equal to the highest original attack monsters among monsters your opponent controls. Jesus. Unaffected by blah blah blah. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summoned monsters with attack lower than this tribute summons cards. That's actually the first good effect that I read in a card in this archetype so far. That's really telling a lot. And I think this is the last card. Clear Wall, continuous spell. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If Clear World is on the field, you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand that mentions it. Monsters that mention Clear World cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving them. While you control a level 7 or higher monster that mentions Clear World, all effects of Clear World are applied to your opponent regardless of the attributes they control. Again, the effects are bad, so it doesn't really matter if like you're unaffected and then your opponent is always affected. It really doesn't matter. Like it's like horrendous effects. Like if your opponent activates a spell, he has to pay like 300 something else. It's just like the effects are just so weak. Play with your hand revealed at all times for light. Dark, if you control 2 or more monsters, you cannot declare an attack. Earth, during your standby phase, target 1 face-up defense position monster you control, destroy that target. Water, during your end phase, discard 1 card. Fire, during your end phase, take 1,000. Horrendous, right? It's such a bad card that it doesn't matter if you're unaffected and your opponent is always affected. It's garbage, but whatever. So I'll give them like a solid 0.5 out of 10, because at least there's like, you know, a little bit of effort. So I'd say like Z for effort. But anyways, now we've got some new cards in Animation Chronicle. This time, Bakura's Spirit cards. So the first one is the Duke of Demise. I do remember the Oh, okay, yeah, so that's a retrained of Earl of Demise, right? Hold on a second. That is a 2000 attack, 700 defense monster. It obtained a 1000 defense bonus. Materials, 2 fiend and or zombie monsters. That's all I need to know. That's the monster could have no effect, and I'm already satisfied because at least it's a super poly target for Unchained. Oh my god, thank god, right? Once per turn during your standby phase, pay 500 life points or destroy this card. You can only use the second and third effect of this guy's aim once per turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Nobody really cares. During your main phase, you can activate this effect immediately after after it resolves. Normal summon one monster. I mean, I'll take that. And then you can banish this card from your grave, then target one level 4 or higher fiend or zombie monster in your grave, add it to your hand. That's pretty nice. So in Unchained, you can banish this and then recycle back your Sharvara. Again, it's a super poly target, so you're summoning this on the field, and then you're making like a CZ DDD wave hiking Caesar on top. And then if you detach, then it does something in the grave. And I guess in like Eldritch, if you're playing Dogmatic Punishment, you send this, and then you can recycle back your Eldritch the Golden Lord. Not that it really matters, right? You can recycle back Skullmeister. I don't know. It's just a good card. But again, the only thing that really matters to me was the summoning condition of this card. I mean, the summoning materials, rather. 2 fiend and or zombie monsters. The effect is just like an extra bonus, but I'm pretty happy. So far, so good. Alright, there is an equip spell now. Spirit Illusion, equip only to a level 5 or higher fiend or zombie monster. You can only use the first effect of the disguise once per turn. You can activate one of these effects. So either you fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by using monsters from your hand or your fields as a material. That's pretty bad. Or special summon one doppelganger token with the same type, attribute, and attack as the equipped monsters. Okay, so my issue, right? If it could actually do both, it would have been fantastic. But it can't. It only gives you the option of one or the other, which makes it a 1-for-1 at best. And at worst, it's a neg 1. So, just, nah. When an attack is declared involving the equipped monster and an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose attack equal to the equipped monsters. Right, so this card could have been printed in, what, let's say 2010, and it would have been completely fair. It's just a really bad card. Very, very bad card. I'll give it like again, a 1.5 out of 10, maybe, by being generous. Spirit Shield continues trap once per turn. Once per battle, sorry. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one fiend or zombie monster from your grave. Negate the attack. This is even worse than Mirror Force. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that will destroy a card, you can banish one fiend or zombie monster from your grave and negate the activation. That's garbage. And once per turn during the end phase, if you do not control a fiend or zombie monster, send this card to the grave. I actually love how a really bad card that is getting printed in 2024 also had to have a drawback. Like, why? Like, this card's horrendous. Like, if anything, the third effect should have been, like, a positive effect. Not something that, like, you gotta destroy yourself on the end phase. That's, like, that's an actual 0 out of 10. Because this is dead content. Like, you can't play a card like this. And this is, like, really bad, but I can kind of see that... No, there's no way to justify it. It's just a really bad card. And then, yeah, this is good because it's a super poly target. Alright, last and hopefully not least, we're getting Allure Queen cards. Again, Animation Chronicle. Okay, cool. So the first monster is Golden Allure Queen. No shot this was played in the anime, because this had to be from Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains or something. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, Golden Allure Queen. Jesus, okay, I like the artwork. Ling 3 Dark Spellcaster. Materials 3 Spellcaster Monsters. Holy crap, how are you summoning this card? Bro, what? Yo, Celine is easy to summon because it's a Ling 3 that only requires like 2 monsters if you want to, as long as it's like Ling 3 worth in total. And it only requires 1 spellcaster minimum. This is 3 monsters, and it has to be 3 spellcasters. Good freaking luck summoning this card. It's kind of like Black Luster Soldier of Chaos. It's really hard to summon even though it's a Link 3. If this card is Link Summon, you can special summon 1 Allure Queen monster from your deck or grave. This card gains 1500 attack until the end of the next turn. Not really good. You can activate the effects that equip a monster to themselves of monsters with Allure Queen in their original names as quick effects. It turns Allure Queen monsters into interruptions. Because if you didn't know already, the Allure Queen monsters, they all have an ability to equip a monster your opponent controls to them. And then, like, if they would get destroyed, the monster equipped is destroyed instead. It's kind of like Relinquished, really. Now, Relinquished becomes a quick effect. So that's what it really turns into. The level 3 can only equip a level 3 or lower monster upon controls, so that's really bad. And then the Allure Queen level 5 only has the equip effect if it was summoned by the effect of Allure Queen level 3. And same thing with Allure Queen level 7. It only has that ability if it's summoned by Allure Queen level 5. So in other words, what Konami is really trying to push here is the concept of the Allure Queens, which is complete trash, because you would have to go through so many hoops and loops just to get to Allure Queen level 7, which is not even that good. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can destroy one card on the field. Also, Allure Queen monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects for the rest of the turn. This is irrelevant. There's just so many ways to like bounce back, banish, destroy by battle, etc. ways of clearing monsters, that something like this is irrelevant, but the fact that you can destroy a monster on the field, any card on the field, even better, doesn't target, that's nice. And again, it turns the Allure Queens into interruptions, so this card's not like super bad. And also special summons a monster from the deck or grave. This card is still like very lukewarm, honestly. It's not broken because it's so hard to summon 3 Spellcaster Monsters. Spellcaster Monsters are some of the worst cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment, at least at the moment. Not overall, but it's really hard to summon 3 Spellcaster Monsters. I can think of like ways of summoning like 2, because you got the Charmers, and then, you know, you can summon back Veiler or something, but again, 3 Spellcaster Monsters is wishful thinking. Okay, Allure Palace. Field spell, you can only use the 3rd effect of this card's name up to thrice per turn. Spellcaster monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Allure Queen effect monsters you control gain this effect. Okay, yeah, whatever. You can send this card equipped with a card by its own effect to the grave. Special summon one spellcaster with 1500 or less attack from your hand or deck. This makes my brain like just melt for no reason, really. Why are they trying to push the bad cards? Like they might have like they might as well like retrain them, right? The same thing we got like with the Armed Dragon Thunder monster or something. The Armed Dragon ones are garbage, and then the Armed Dragon Thunder, they're not great, but at least they're like better by concept. Allure Queen should have gotten the same exact treatment. But whatever, I get the point, right? You can kind of evolve your Allure Queens into other Allure Queens, because Allure Queen level 7 only has 1500 attack. Like, you get to transform 3 into 5 into 7 in one single turn. That's what it really does, but it's still bad. Anyways, you can send one card from your hand to the grave. Take one Allure Queen monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it to your opponent's field. Okay, at least you can add it to your hand, right? If you want to special summon it to your opponent's field, what it does is that it allows you to evolve your Allure Queens on turn 1, and you can use that effect up to thrice per turn. But you do have to pitch a card from your hand to the grave if you want to do that. But then you're always, like, also adding back a card so you can fuel your grave. Doesn't do anything, though. This card could have been, like, so much better. It's not, like, super trash. It doesn't suck. But it's also not, like, super insane. I guess this card on its own, it summons the Allure Queen level 7 directly, I think. Because the first surge gets you level 3, and then the second one, you don't search, you special summon on your opponent's field, and then use the effect to like steal, and then you transform into the level 5, and then you give it one final time, and then use the effect transform into level 7, and then you do nothing else. Yeah, okay, I've seen better. I've definitely seen better. Anyways, Allure Dance Continuous Spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. You can only use the 3rd effect once per turn. When this card resolves, you can add one Allure Queen monster or one Allure Palace from your deck to your hand. Okay, so you can search the field spell. That's not too bad. Each Allure Queen monster you control gains attack equal to the attack of the monsters equipped to it by its own effect. I think you can understand what the cards are trying to do better and better while I read them. Yeah, it really is trying to take advantage of the opponent's monster mechanic. You can send one other spell or trap card you control to the grave. Special summon as many Allure Queen monsters with different names as possible from your grave. That's really good, because you keep giving Allure Queen monsters to your opponent's field, so you're fueling your graveyard, but it doesn't really do anything because they have no graveyard effect. But because of the fact that you can summon all of your Allure Queens back, you can finally have a lot of bodies to summon the Link 3, and then the Link 3 summons another Allure Queen either from the deck or grave if you're out of Allure Queens in your deck, and then they all become quick effects. So now I can see how one single card can lead to what, how many interruptions that would be, like 2-3 interruptions? Yeah, because you got like the pop, and then you got the Allure Queen level 7 to like steal, and potentially the Allure Queen level 3 to steal like a weak monster, like a level 3 or lower monster. I guess against certain decks it could be good. Against like Sprite, for example, they all have like very low levels, so that could be nice. Or against like Purely. So I do like it. Hold on a second. Do they target? You can select one monster on your opponent's field. I don't know what the word select means in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's like the pre-PSCT version of target. I'm gonna have to look into it, because I know that choose, it doesn't target. The word choose, that's like that's what the Purely cards have. So it's a different story. But yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about these cards. I'm definitely gonna look into them and make a combo video, deck profile, etc. The Bakura cards, they're bad, but the Fusion monster is nice because it's a super poly target. And also like a Nadir Servant, Dogmatic and Punishment target, etc. It's a good card. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. And then these cards, garbage, but I mean, you could kind of expect that. And the Blue Eye structure deck, hopefully it's going to be nice, but I do have some nice hopes because they did manage to turn Blue Eyes into a completely irrelevant deck, all the way to a World's winning deck, which is pretty nice. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.